Hey, sports fans, football season is here, and it's time to get in on the action with MyBookie.net. MyBookie has real Vegas odds and incredible player props for all your favorite sporting events. MyBookie offers in-game live action on all pro and college football games. There's no better time to join MyBookie than today. Pull out your smartphone and visit our user-friendly mobile site for adrenaline on demand. Open your browser and type in MyBookie. What are you waiting for? Call 844-722-2387 or go online to join MyBookie today. No deposit necessary. Terms and conditions apply. Play for fun only. Void where prohibited.
Hi, this is Jim Feist in Las Vegas. I've been making my clients money for the past 45 years. I'm releasing a special 3-day trial right now on SBTVNation.com. I've isolated the top 5 college and pro football games on the board, and I absolutely love these games. Go to SBTVNation.com right now and click on the 3-day trial button for your exclusive package of winners.
Have a product, service, or website to advertise on the biggest show in the world? The SBTV Nation podcast reaches tens of thousands of the best sports fans on the planet in over 194 countries worldwide. Take your business to the next level by advertising with us. Call us now at 872-529-SBTV or email us at sbtvnation@gmail.com.
Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to The It Factor, blessing the airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
the biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world. The SBTV Nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Dream, and right now I am the hottest thing popping in football. What? You heard? Pat, what's going on, yo?
I knew that you were gonna catch up to your head at some point.
It was time
Dream.
for me to pop off right now. Get on point because I'm on fire, y'all.
Good morning to you. Happy Friday, Dream.
Happy Friday, gang, and we are definitely energized and excited. We got a great show lined up for you. Got a couple of legends in the game coming on. Mr. Jim Feist, Mr. Mark Lawrence. Also got to thank guests that have come on in the past. Of course, we love all the information that they gave us. And hey, I'm ready for the weekend to get started. What about you, Hat?
I am very excited. I had my kids' game yesterday, Dream, and they beat the snot out of the team that they played, and my kid had an exceptional game, had 4 tackles for losses and a sack, Dream.
That's my boy Biggs coaching at East David High. I worked with that guy for many years. We call him Biggs.
Oh, nice.
Listen, SBTV Nation, this guy is like 6'6",
huge,
and like at least 300 pounds, but wide. I mean, Big Mel is wide.
Very wide, definitely. And one of the kids actually broke his arm and had a compound fracture. Bone popped right through the skin, Dream.
Ooh.
Nasty. Man, my kid was right there, so he's going to actually have that in his brain for quite some time. But anyway, moving on, guys. Good morning to you. We are the SBTV Nation. We are the It Factor, 194 countries strong. Stand up. We are talking gambling. We're talking fantasy. We're talking football, baseball, the whole package. And as you said, we got the legends coming on. Jim Feist and Mark Lawrence are going to be joining us today. We're going to be doing, over the weekend, we're going to be doing myself and you because the evil genius is going to be away, but we're going to be taking phone calls from the SBTV Nation as well. Going over to Monday's show on September 19th, we're bringing in Big Splee, who has not lost a progressive set of games since the last time he was on the show. Next Thursday, we're bringing back Charles J. from FSN Info to have a conversation with us as well. Dream.
Yes.
Great call on the Jets last night.
Hey, what can you listen, what can you say about the Jets? They went out, they got it done. Started off a little bit controversial, but, kept their poise.
Kept their poise.
Kept
exactly.
their poise and persevered through. Good game by them. I don't know. I've talked to you guys about this Rex Rock. Listen, I got a question for you, Hat.
Sure.
If Rob Ryan was not Rex Ryan's brother, would he have the defensive coordinating job there?
I don't think so.
I don't either, player.
I don't think so because, and everywhere he has been, you're talking about Rob, he has not been successful at all.
Not been successful. I mean, prior to Dallas, he had some success. I'll give him that.
Okay.
Yeah, he did have some success. But for the most part, you're right. Since then, everybody's been out. Of course, he's gone and taken on problem child. Because, see, I call this a business decision, all right?
Sure.
See, I'm a coach, and I want a job.
Yep.
But in my case, I want a job for a while. I don't want to be trying to get a job every 6 months.
No.
Okay? So guess what? Cleve,
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm not trying to mess with the Dolphins. I'm not trying to really mess with the Jets. When you go to these problem situations, and especially if you go to I'm trying to look at a situation. I want to be like a prima donna quarterback. I want to look at a situation like Peyton Ball is. If I'm a defensive coordinator, I want to see a defense that I possibly couldn't work with, not a defense that's dead that I got to bring to life.
I agree. And when you look at the numbers, and we're going to rattle off the stats right now on the game, and this segment is brought to you by the sports betting legend, Mr. Jim Feist. Go to SBTVNation.com and click on the 3-day trial button to receive your exclusive package of football winners today on our website at SBTV Nation. Dream, I'm looking at the numbers. Ryan Fitzy, 374 yards on that Bills defense. Wow.
Well, the first thing that happened is the secondary for the Bills is inept. The next thing that happens is they want to play man-to-man and not play zone. Not all defenses are built to play man-to-man. You cannot play man-to-man if your corners do not get up on the line and bump these receivers, and you don't have good over-the-top safety help. That's why the majority of the NFL opts to play zone.
Right. Especially in a passing league. But here's the problem with playing zone, is that Matt Forte had 30 carries for 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. Dream.
And now the Dream wants to say an apology, because there's one thing that I was dead wrong about, and I am not too adult to. Hopefully I'm a big enough adult to admit my mistakes, which I am. Matt Forte, I originally thought wasn't going to be a good fit for the Jets. I was dead, absolutely, completely wrong. Sure. Matt Forte looks like a perfect fit for the Jets. I was amazed at how he was able to run. Plus, they're able to fit him in a passing game. I heard Marshall Faulk last night say that what the Jets used to get out of 3 guys, they get all in 1 guy is in Matt Forte. And I was completely wrong with my synopsis of Matt Forte. I have to apologize for that play.
Absolutely. And Eric Decker was pretty good, too. 126 yards with 1 touchdown. I told you, Dream, I took this Jets team over 8 wins. I got 7 to go.
That was a beast, though.
I know.
Listen, I've never seen Eric Decker play like that.
Hey, he's got a little chemistry.
I've never seen Eric Decker play like that, but I will say that the guy with the African name, I believe it's Inawu, he got everybody motivated, because my man, number 81, came out and was killing it, and Decker and the other guys must have had a little say, yo, we better start catching the ball or we gotta get caught. Even Michael Irvin commented on that last night of the show. He's like, yo, he got them boys motivated, because I've never seen Decker play like that. But hey, they brought up their level of gameplay. The Jets look really good offensively. Defensively, I got some issues, as my man, the $70 million A-Rod of football, Darrelle Revis, once again gets torched again last night. Big Reeve getting played.
I saw crying Jordan memes all over the place with Revis Island, Dream.
Revis Island. That's called Touchdown Island. We ain't at the Touchdown Island. Celebration Island. Everybody's doing touchdown dances at the Revis Island. A lot of dancing going on Revis Island.
At the expense of Revis Island, exactly. And, Brandon Marshall went down last night, so I don't know what his injury status is, but
back in the game.
Yeah, but you know how that goes.
Right.
They come back, and then all of a sudden they get diagnosed with something crazy, So
I wouldn't be surprised if Revis has some mysterious injury, too. Revis like one of those pitchers that gets blown up, and all of a sudden he got Tommy John's. Maybe they won't put him on the field for a minute. So Revis might get Tommy John's leg surgery.
Oh, very good point. So, you look at the team itself. Just all those names that we're rattling off, and this team is good. And I think they're going to win over 8 games. I really do. And, if they play, some weaker teams, I think they'll win considerably. So, looking at the Jets, I would not be surprised if this team possibly made a wild card run this year.
I definitely think the Jets can possibly go out, but I'm not going to go crazy with the Jets.
Yeah, I know.
Because, listen, first, this is what I was trying to talk about last night a little bit on Twitter. The Jets just lost to Cincinnati. Okay, they didn't look all that dope.
Which they should have won the game, though. They were very close to winning that game.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is offensively, they didn't look that competent against Cincinnati.
They made the adjustments.
And I know Cincinnati has one of the better defenses in the league, but I'm just saying, before we go crazy, there's still a bunch of other teams in this AFC, on the horizon. First of all, they got to play the Patriots twice.
Yep.
And we know about how the Patriots get down. Their defense was very impressive to me as far as holding Arizona in check. So I'm not going to go crazy about the Jets. I still see those 1 to 2 stupid things that the Jets do always. Fitzy looked probably the best I've seen him since he played with Terrell Owens in Buffalo. So, age could catch up to him in the next game, and he could be reminded how old he really is. But right now, they did look really good, but I'm not going to go crazy. But I do think your over is a solid play.
Oh, definitely. And when you look at it here, you look at Rex Ryan now is 0-2. And if this team does not start winning soon, there's going to be, would this be his last ride as far as being a head coach?
I'd hope so.
That's a very good question on everybody's lips right now. Is that if they have an under 500 season for the Bills, and then maybe the Bills keep him one more year, and if he doesn't win again, this guy, he needs to make the playoffs at least to be considered a pretty decent head coach at this point, because he has not had any success over what has it been, 5-6 years now, Dream?
I don't know how long it's been, but I know this. Marty Schottenheimer was a head coach forever with no success.
Yeah, right.
We could go on for days about some guys can coach forever with no success. By the way, Jeff Fisher hasn't been killing it either. I know he did go to the Super Bowl that one year, but after that, it's been all a mess. So we could go on for days about head coaches that haven't had success. Talk about no success in the playoffs. Just go over there and look at Marvin Lewis, too, with the Bengals. He's been there forever.
Sure, definitely.
So sometimes I think you can go in certain situations and see guys that's been around for a while, and then other guys, seem to, get thrown out of the game quick. It just depends on the patience of the organization.
Couldn't agree more with you. So moving over to college football, we did have the number 6 Houston Cougars laid a smackdown on Cincinnati and scored 28 points in the fourth quarter.
Hat, please talk to me about how the text you sent me before the game.
All right, so I sent the Dream a text that I thought that Cincinnati had a shot to win this game. Dream, I don't know what you're laughing about, because up until the fourth quarter, that game was tight. Very, very tight, and just Cincinnati could not run the ball at all. I gotta give the nod here to Houston's run defense.
Hat,
absolutely outstanding.
Hat, time out. What did I talk about on the show yesterday?
No, we did. We both did, because they averaged 46 yards on the ground as far as allowing defensively.
Yes.
So I know that Cincinnati had nothing in this particular game. So I think they had 2 yards rushing going into the third quarter or something stupid like that. So they had to beat them through the air. And, we talked about it being a low-scoring affair, but Greg Ward Jr., Dream, I got a real good look. Not that I haven't watched him before, but I really got a serious look at him. The guy is good.
No doubt.
24 for 36, 326 yards, 1 touchdown, and on the ground he had 2 touchdowns with 73 yards. So pretty damn good. My feeling is, though, I don't think Go ahead. I like this Houston team. I do.
Okay.
I really do. I like them as a major bowl team. I don't like them as a playoff team. I think if they get into the playoffs, they've got some very, very difficult games coming up. They have to go to Navy, and I believe that they need to play Louisville. So that's going to be pretty interesting there. If they can go undefeated and win their conference, then they should definitely be deserving of getting a playoff nod, especially beating Oklahoma if they beat Louisville and they beat, going on the road at Cincinnati and doing these other particular games. But I just think that they're going to get smoked by somebody like Bama or something like that. I think that would be an ugly game, because with the exception of, you take Greg Ward Jr. out of the game, you're in trouble.
Okay, so then take Drew Brees out of the game. Does New Orleans win?
Yeah,
I mean, rename. Come on.
Okay, all right.
Don't do that one. All right.
I'm just saying.
I'm with you, but don't do that one.
Or if they play hardball, forget it.
Stop. Listen, first of all, Houston, you're going to play throughout the course of a season. You are not going to play your finest football every second of the game.
Correct.
Throughout the course of the season. Second of all, this was a traveling situation for Houston. Going to hostile Cincinnati, bring their A game and try to win this game. Listen, Cincinnati was just going to lay down just because Houston showed up with Greg Ward Jr. talking about, they're dope. We're going to let them just blow us out right out of the gate. I mean, they're over there trying to play and win this game just as much as Houston is. So, this is one of those games that went relatively ugly in the beginning.
Yeah.
Then they opened it up. I saw some adjustments. I talked about Houston's ability to hand the ball off and get success out of their running game, which never seemed to develop last night. So Greg Ward finally decided that he had to take it over. As you see, he had 28 carries for 73 yards on the ground. He not only led them through the air, but he led them on the ground. And that's the thing that he offers with that dual threat of through the air and on the ground that makes him so dynamic. And you've got to put him, if you're not talking about him right now, listen, 24 for 36, 335 through the air with 1 TD. That's in the air. I already gave you the ground stats. This guy needs to start be talking about in the Heisman as a Heisman candidate.
Definitely. He's right up there with Watson and Lamar Jackson.
But right now, he's better than Watson. His numbers are better than Watson.
Oh, of course.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, but all we hear about is Watson, obviously because of last year, and we're hearing nothing about them. America, wake up. Houston is in the house. It is time for you to stand up and recognize them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they are number 6 in the land, and we'll see if any top 5 teams lose this weekend moving forward. Real quick, just a recap of the MLB last night. The Cubs clinched the NL Central by losing, Dream.
Okay.
Because St. Louis also lost. So they're the first team to secure a division trophy. So, hey, they're going to be sitting there waiting in the wings for a team to, whether it's a wild card team or a division winner, but it's most likely they're going to play a wild card team, considering the fact that their record is so incredible. The Red Sox last night, Dream. So I'm out. I'm watching the game. I believe they fell down 5-0 in the game. Going into the 9th inning, they're down 5-2. I didn't watch any more of it. I just said, forget it. They're going to lose the game. Sure enough, I look and I'm looking at Twitter. All of a sudden, people are going crazy about the Red Sox. I'm like, what is this? They came back and won 7-5 in a walk-off. They scored 5 runs at the bottom of the 9th inning and won the game, Dream.
No way.
Yeah. So big ups to the Red Sox, and I still think that this team is a force to be reckoned with. So just recapping the standings right now, guys. Boston is 2 games up over Baltimore and Toronto. Cleveland is 6 games up over Detroit. Texas 8.5 games up over Seattle. Going over the National League, you got Washington is 10 games up on the New York Metropolitans. Cubs have clinched. Dodgers are 4 games up on San Francisco. And when you look at the wild card, if it ended today, you would have Baltimore versus Toronto in the AL and San Fran versus the New York Metropolitans in the NL. So anything could happen as far as that's concerned, Dream.
Anything can happen, definitely.
That's right, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back to you with tonight's lines for college football. You are listening to your boys at the SBTV Nation.
Hey, sports fans, football season is here, and it's time to get in on the action with MyBookie.net. MyBookie has real Vegas odds and incredible player props for all your favorite sporting events. MyBookie offers in-game live action on all pro and college football games. There's no better time to join MyBookie than today. Pull out your smartphone and visit our user-friendly mobile site for adrenaline on demand. Open your browser and type in MyBookie. What are you waiting for? Call 844-722-2387 or go online to join MyBookie today. No deposit necessary. Terms and conditions apply. Play for fun only. Void where prohibited.
Hi, this is Jim Feist in Las Vegas. I've been making my clients money for the past 45 years. I'm releasing a special 3-day trial right now on SBTVNation.com. I've isolated the top 5 college and pro football games on the board, and I absolutely love these games. Go to SBTVNation.com right now and click on the 3-day trial button for your exclusive package of winners.
Have a product, service, or website to advertise on the biggest show in the world? The SBTV Nation podcast reaches tens of thousands of the best sports fans on the planet in over 194 countries worldwide. Take your business to the next level by advertising with us. Call us now at 872-529-SBTV or email us at sbtvnation@gmail.com.
All right, Dream, we are back, and it is Friday, September 16th, and they have blessed us with 3 college football games tonight.
I don't know that that's a blessing.
Well, when you consider looking at the matchups here, you might be right. It may not be a blessing. But I think we have to rattle them off since we have a bunch of junkies out there that want to play. So we have to have a conversation about them moving forward. And as you guys know, this segment is brought to you by MyBookie.net. MyBookie is the only football contest site where you can play for fun and win for real, whether you're an expert or a rookie. Play now at MyBookie.net. Use the promo code SBTV when registering for these contests. So looking at the lines here, Dream, 8 o'clock sharp, we've got Baylor, the Bears, versus the Rice Owls. Baylor is 2-0. Rice is 0-2. Baylor minus 31 points with an under-over of 65 here, Dream.
No
Did
doubt.
you get a chance to look at Baylor?
I got a small chance to look at Baylor, but it's not a true. I mean, you want to call beating SMU, Northwestern State, a real look? I don't really think that's a good look, Hat, if you're basing my synopsis on Baylor, by the way.
Come on, you got the hot hand. I want to hear what you got to say about this one.
They only did murder SMU, and they murdered Northwestern State. They beat, 40-13 in the first game, 55-7. Obviously, we talk about the dynamic of Seth Russell right now, 40 for 67, 424 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Also, Linwood getting it done as well. 27 carries, 156 yards. Shock. He's showing that he can shock the world. Rice.
Brutal.
Absolutely brutal.
Rice scores 14 points a game.
14 points a game they're averaging, which is dope. Getting beat down by Army, 31-14. Getting beat down by Western Kentucky, 46-14. Listen, Rice is talking to you. Listen, Rice is saying, look, our guys leave and go get jobs with IBM, Microsoft, and Fortune 500 companies. Baylor guys go to maybe prison.
Baylor is 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games. They're not covering these lines at all, Dream.
They're not covering the lines, and when you don't cover your lines and go to the doctor, he prescribes you eat rice.
Yeah, you go right to the Rice Owls and play. Exactly. So
I would be very surprised if Baylor did not cover their spread tonight, especially this is like an in-state, not really rivalry. It might have been a rivalry like 400 years ago when football was first invented, but as of late, it's not really a rivalry, but it's still an in-state type of situation. You know what I mean? As far as the Texas situation is concerned. So Baylor will probably have a little extra incentive to want to beat down on the Rice Owls, as that's what the better teams of Texas do. I would expect them to have all types of success in every aspect of their game. This should be a crime scene.
A crime scene, exactly. Well, the last time they played each other, Baylor won 70-17.
I would not be surprised if the score was very similar.
Very similar, exactly. Well, they're playing in Rice right now. But like you alluded to, they don't really need to travel that far to this particular game, and they're probably going to be bringing a whole hell of a lot of fans with them. Because I can't imagine that Rice is selling out their stadiums for their home games. So you're going to see a lot of Baylor fans in the stands.
Right.
So looking at this particular one, Baylor is averaging 47.5 points. But like we said, Baylor
the
is not
Rice faithful is strong. They'll be 25 people deep.
Very good point. All right. So, but Rice, doesn't play that bad at home, surprisingly, here. So we're going to have to take a look at this one. You know what? I just don't trust Baylor covering any spreads these days. And the spread is going up. It's now, I'm seeing 32s on the board.
If you guys got involved with the Jets and you put them in a teaser, or if you got involved in Houston, put them in a teaser and left open spots, great opportunity to throw Baylor in there in a teaser situation. Or you could do one of those marathon teasers that Hat likes to do and throw Baylor in with 10 points or 7. I think all you need is a touchdown, to be honest with you. 7 points, 7 to 10 points. Throw Baylor in there and leave like 5 spots open, which you can close over the weekend.
Well, you know that Baylor is a very, very strong first half team. They get started quickly.
Sure.
So maybe you could do like a first quarter money line with them.
That is another idea. I don't know about that for me, but I'm just saying, check your weather, though, in these games, because, sometimes that Texas weather can get crazy. Remember the Baylor TCU game? It was like a hurricane.
Right, exactly.
Check your weather at game time, guys, if you're getting involved in this game. Just make sure your weather conditions are decent, because every now and then they get a spot of weather in Texas.
All right, so I'm looking at another big line on the ticket here. You got the Arizona State Sun Devils at Texas San Antonio, the Roadrunners. Arizona State is minus 21 points on the road, and the under-over is 59.5. So I have not seen any of the Sun Devils yet, Dream.
I haven't seen much of them either. You talk about Manny Wilkins. You talk about a guy 48 for 64, 551 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Obviously a dynamic passing game, which Arizona State almost pretty much always has a dynamic passing game. Coming off a beat in Texas Tech, they beat the Red Raiders 68-55. When you look at that particular matchup, I expect them to come in, but this San Antonio team, Texas San Antonio, is not going to lay down for them by any stretch of the imagination. So you expect this game is going to be a little bit of a tug of war in the beginning. I do think that Arizona State eventually will have their way, as you get deeper in the game. Dalton Strom for Texas San Antonio, 35 for 48, 450 yards, 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And they also try to get Rhodes going as well with the running game. That's Jalen. 29 carries for 117 yards with 1 TD. So they're trying to run a balanced attack. I don't know if they're going to have a lot of success against Arizona State. I look for Arizona State to win. I don't like the spread, and I don't really particularly care for this game. But I think that Arizona State does win the game.
All right, and I'm looking at it here. Arizona State has been brutal on the road in the last 7 games on the road. 1-6, Dream. Straight up, going back to last year. So, looking at this particular situation, they should have their way with UTSA. UTSA only scores about 20 points a game, but they only give up 18. So you might see it like little close in the first half. And then Arizona State basically keeps that defense on the field and runs away with it. Just kind of like we saw last night.
Exactly.
Kind of a similar situation. So last one on the board before our Legends call, we have, Arkansas State, the Red Wolves at Utah State Aggies. Utah State minus 9. It jumped from 6.5 all the way up to 9 with an under-over of 55.5. So looks like people are pounding this Utah State line, Dream.
I don't really know why.
Well, Arkansas State stinks.
Okay.
All right, so just keep that in the back of your brain when you are out there gambling. I mean, you have a home team underdog on prime time. We know that.
That's the reason to do it.
But they average 12 points a game. That's all they're scoring, this team. So looking at it, I understand it. And when you look at Utah State, I know that Utah State has been very good defensively over the last few years.
We got murdered by USC. And USC, they're okay.
Yeah, and when you look
I'm
at
not that impressed with them this season. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. Utah State is 1-6 against the spread in the last 7 games, so they are not covering spreads at all, guys. So
and not playing powerhouses. You're talking about like Nevada, Weber. I mean, that's who their competition. I mean, they beat them, but that's the kind of competition that they play.
Right, and when I'm looking at this particular matchup here, I do see that Utah State is 16-2 straight up in the last 18 games at home. So, when you got Utah State hosting a team like Arkansas State only scoring 12 points a game and giving up, Dream, defensively 41 points a game. So, you know what? This may be a very good money line situation. Utah State should definitely win this game, and I would definitely consider putting them in a money line parlay to start something for the weekend.
Well, Utah State, you talk about their passing, which is led by Kent Myers, 36 for 54, 304 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. So he's got as many touchdowns as interceptions, which is very interesting. His counterpart on the other side of the field, Chad Wojtek, has more interceptions than touchdowns.
Wow.
So this might be one of the reasons why you're a little bit appetized by Utah State in this particular situation.
I love it. I'm gonna. You know what? This is a booty game, but I'm gonna get involved in it.
You are getting involved in the booty game.
I am.
Utah State should look to try to run the ball. Their running back Mays, 26 carries for the season, 232 yards and 3 touchdowns. So they definitely are going to try to get it done through on the ground. And here's the deal, what looks good for them. Arkansas State allows 323.5 yards on the ground. Ooh. So you should look for the Utah State Aggies to run wild all over Arkansas State.
I couldn't agree more on that one. So, hey, that's a pretty damn good marathon money line parlay, Dream.
Might work.
Keep that open. I would say you keep 3 spots open, make it a 4-teamer, and we've got plenty of spots to add to that moving forward.
That's hat stuff. That's not mine if I'm not doing Maylocks plays this evening.
I don't think that game's going to be a stomachache, to be honest.
It probably won't. I'm just teasing.
Yeah, exactly. So moving on here. So that is the rest of the landscape of the college football that is opening up tonight. So these games are pretty late, Dream. They are. Well, I mean, the other one starts at 8 o'clock, 9:30, and 9 o'clock are the 3 start times here.
I would assume that they're spacing them out so you can, catch them all.
Yeah, okay. I could see that. So, all right, Dream. So moving on here. Let's just keep it going. I'm trying to punch in a guest right now, so we will have a conversation with him when we do that. So you don't have any sides whatsoever that you're going to get involved in here?
No, this evening's going to be a night off for me. I mean, I struck last night, so I'm not going to push it too hard. We did get it. I had a nice evening last night with the Jets, also with Houston. The one sore spot that I did have last night, and I won't try to shy away from it, we did talk about the under in the Jet-Bills game, which I was on as well, but it wasn't as big as other plays that I had, so I was able to still have a positive evening. And the game front going forward to the weekend, man, there's some really good games coming on Saturday, some big games that I've been watching on Saturday. And, gang, you're going to want to tune in to Saturday as Hat and I are going to go mano-a-mano with college football on Saturday. Some big matchups you got coming up, and also foaming at the mouth for Sunday.
Right, Dream. Call me right back, okay?
Sure.
All right. So let me see if I can get my guest in to have a conversation with him, and we will go from there. Do we have Mr. Mark Lawrence on the line today?
Good morning, guys. How are you doing?
Hey, good. Mark, how are you?
I'm doing terrific. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for being patient on the line. We appreciate that. I got you finally in to talk some football.
And looking forward to that big weekend coming up in both college and pro football. And I'm really, really pleased to be on with Jim Feist. He's a legend in the business. My pleasure to be on with Jimmy to discuss this weekend's card.
Absolutely. So we're waiting for him momentarily. Bo, what were your thoughts on last night's game?
Well, a little bit surprised of all the offense that came about in the football game. I think going in we were looking for more of a defensive effort, but they opened up the playbook and put points aplenty in the scoreboard. I think the NFL liked that, seeing all the points, and the Jets finally got...
Right, exactly. So you still there, Mark?
Hi, sorry we missed your call. Please leave your name and number, and we'll return your call as quick as possible. Thank you.
All right, guys. We will get him on momentarily here, so we're doing the best we can to make this work. And you know how technology goes these days. So anyway, Mr. Mark, you back?
Yes, I am.
All right. So I guess we're going to have to do the interview by ourselves as we await for Mr. Jim Feist and go from there, because we've got some really big games coming up. Whole slate. We usually have like week one is usually the lopsided matchups, and then they start getting better as far as college football are concerned. But it seems like last week was all the lopsided stuff, and now this week seems to be more of the marquee matchups again.
Yeah, we're getting some great college football matchups this week. NFL is also, I don't know if they can improve on what happened last week. such dramatic finishes we saw in the football games last week. We had 6 football games on the NFL side that were decided by less than a field goal. I know the NFL was really pleased to have that happen.
Yeah.
But really looking forward to what's happening this week in both college and pro football.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And I'm looking at a couple of marquee games here that we've got on the ticket. And what we're going to do is we're going to start it off right away with Michigan State versus Notre Dame. Just curious to know what's on your brain as far as this particular game right here.
Well, this is a big matchup, I think, here for the Michigan State Spartans. They're going to come into this football game with triple revenge. They were taken out each of the last 3 times that they've met Notre Dame in the football game, and this looks to be a big, big number to me. You're talking about 8 points to a quality football team in Michigan State that has extra time to get ready for this contest here. And in Mark D'Antonio, you're talking about one of the best coaches in college football.
Sure. When
he's playing with revenge. He's doing just that. The last time that he had revenge, Mark D'Antonio did, go back to last year when they went into Ohio State as 16.5-point underdogs. And what did they do? They just won the whole football game at the Horseshoe straight up on the field.
Right.
So, I it's difficult for me. I'm a big dog lover. I love underdogs first and foremost, and he epitomizes what I look for in handicapping college football games. You give him extra time to prepare, put that revenge chip on his shoulder, and I think he becomes the right side of this football game.
Yeah, very good point. I mean, I still have not really gotten a good look at Michigan State this year yet. It's so hard when there's so many games,
Well, it's depending upon your approach to it. I get a look at them because we have to tear down each and every game each and every week. So we've got them in our database. We're just gearing up for their next football contest, and when it does come up, we look at what the odds makers put up for spreads in the football games, and we handicap what they put up. And maybe not as good a football team this year as they have been in the past. Their senior class that recently graduated was the winningest ever in Michigan State history.
Wow.
Led by Connor Cook, that quarterback. But, the backup quarterback, Tyler O'Connor, he's the kid that was the quarterback at Ohio State and engineered that upset last year. So he's been there, done that. I don't think he'll be at all taken in by everything that goes on in South Bend, touchdown Jesus, and everything about Notre Dame.
Exactly. So I'm looking at the game, and I think we have Mr. Jim Feist on the line, too.
Good morning, Rob, and good morning there, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing terrific, Jim. I was just telling Rob it's really nice to be on with you, a true handicapping legend in the business, and I'm looking forward to discussing some football games as well.
Yes,
It's
sir.
a lot of fun. Looking forward to it.
All right, so, Jim, we're discussing the Michigan State-Notre Dame game right now. Notre Dame is minus a 7.5-point spread with an under-over of 50.5. Just curious to know what your thoughts are on this game.
Well, this is a great old rivalry. They haven't played in a couple of years, but Notre Dame has beaten them the last 3 times. I'm looking for Michigan State coming off of their bye and being able to prepare. They got the new quarterback, O'Connor, who had a rough start in his first game, but kind of leveled out a little bit. Another week of practice. Notre Dame comes off the tight win last week in the double overtime loss to Texas. I think this is a great spot for an underdog play. They're at 12-2 ATS, an underdog role with nine outright upsets. I mean, this is a pretty well-coached team, very physical defense. I like that. Anytime you get a defensive dog, you should really look at them, possibly even win the game straight up. This is going to be a tough game, and Notre Dame is going to really have to come to play. This is a really good defense. I don't think they're going to be able to penetrate them to be able to cover this number. I personally took 8 on the game. I know it's 7.5 and 8, but we shop for numbers. So I took 8 on this game.
8 points. That sounds like, over a touchdown, you're always in a good shape. Do you really like those numbers, right, when you're over a touchdown?
Well, I like all numbers if I think I have an edge. Yes. It's like the numbers don't matter too much when you get up in the 25s and 26s. You're not going to look and say, hey, there's a value because this game's 26.5 instead of 24.5. There's not as much. But when you get in these tight games like this, let's say under 10, you really got to shop. And if you're going to win at this game, you really have to shop. You got to get the best number because over a period of a season, it's probably going to add 3 to 5% to your wins and losses.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I see another one that's actually a bigger spread than I thought it should be. And I'm looking at Alabama, the Crimson Tide, going into Ole Miss this week with Ole Miss with their self-proclaimed best quarterback in college football, Chad Kelly. Alabama is now an 11-point favorite with an under-over of 54.5. I'm going to kick it off with you, Jim. What's your thoughts on this one?
Well, there's no question. The number is very big, and it's probably too big when you consider Mississippi's been able to handle them the last couple of years. The problem is, when you look at a Saban team and you look at the depth they have and their offensive power now, which is not, they haven't been that great on offense over the years. They've been much better defensive club, but I think the offense this year is actually pretty prolific. This is a big revenge game for Nick Saban. Anybody know this guy? He's a perfectionist, and he is not taking this lightly. He does not want to lose to Ole Miss for the third straight time, and he has been upset twice. And they're going to come in with a tremendous effort here. Not that Ole Miss won't, because this is a big game for them as well. However, now when you look at this number, opens 8.5 up to 11. I think what you're going to see here, and I haven't played this game yet, but I will. If something happens, what I think is going to happen is the public has driven this game up because of the revenge factor, and that's too pricey. But look for this number to come down. If it doesn't happen, I won't be involved. But if it does happen, I'm looking to bring it back down to under the 9 that opened. And then I'm going to probably come in with a Bama because I think Bama's going to win the game.
All right. Mr. Lawrence, what's your thoughts on that game?
I think a lot of the same way about this game that Jim does. It's the huge revenge factor for Alabama that is really pricing the football game as it is. Double revenge. They've lost here when they visited 2 years ago and at home last year. It's very rare that you'll find Nick Saban in a double revenge type situation. And you can rest assured that last week when he was just taking Lane Kiffin's head off on the sidelines in that football game, and then afterwards in the postseason conference when he was bemoaning the fact about how poorly they played, that was pure Lou Holtz on Nick Saban's part. He was just getting his football team prepared for this football game, more or less defying them to be ready for this football game, telling them they weren't good enough. That's all Lou speak, if you will, in that football manner in which Lou Holtz delivered that message to his team. The thing that concerns me about this football game is, as Jim said, the price. The price is very, very costly, and it's costly for this reason, for that same reason here. Sure. I don't think we're going to see this game get back to the opening number. I think there's just too much handicap to Alabama and also too much public support. You've got two sides to Mississippi here that if you like the Rebels, the last 6 times they've been a conference home underdog, they've won the money all 6 times. The bad news for them, though, is the last 16 times that they've hosted a team that's come in here with revenge, like Alabama is, they're just 3-13 to the spread. I'm not going to play the game, but if I did, I'd only look at Alabama in the contest.
All right, got it. Jim, you are on our website now.
I am. You know, we got the SBTVNation.com. We got a 3-day trial there. People should go there and click on that banner and find out what we got going on. We got 5 games over 3 days, and it's up for sale. So click on that banner. You'll get a personal video from me, and you can pick up these 5 games either. And you can text in and get some free plays, too. But go to that banner, click on it. You'll get a personal video. We've got 5 big games up and ready to go.
All right, fantastic. I would like to journey over to the NFL and look at the biggest spread on the board. This will probably be part of our Beatdown Blotter segment on Sunday, as we have the Carolina Panthers minus 14 points versus Chip Kelly and the San Francisco 49ers. Mr. Lawrence, what's your thoughts on a double-digit game as far as the spread is concerned in the NFL?
Well, my thoughts personally about double-digit spreads in the NFL, I've said this many times, is I probably wouldn't bet the game even if I knew the final score. It's just not in my DNA to lay double digits in a football game. Almost like there'd be an objection to the final result when it would be a reversal of some sort. But there is a reason that this game is being priced as it is, and it's simply given the fact that you have Carolina in here off 2 losses in a row, both to the defending Super Bowl champion Denver Broncos, and extra time to prepare for this game. San Francisco, on the other side, comes in off that big upset win, impressive win, I should say, against the Rams Monday night. A little less time for them to prepare for this contest here. again, this is like the Alabama game to me. I think there's only one way you can look in the contest, but I just can't lay doubles when it comes to the National Football League.
Got it. Jim, I know that you were big on this Carolina team last year when we talked several times on the show. Talk to me about this game, Carolina coming off the loss.
Well, Carolina was a big profit maker for all of us last year. I mean, they had an exceptional regular season, 15-1. They got a little choked up in the Super Bowl, didn't play very well. They lost to a team that hardly had any yards. It was probably one of the worst played Super Bowls ever. But be that as it may, they just come off the loss, as Mark mentioned, to the same Bronco team. Tough spot. They were on the road. The last time it was neutral. This was time they were on the road. They were, I would expect them to lose that game, and we did have them. Here's the problem. Unfair scheduling. The late game last Monday night was played by the Rams and the 49ers. I can't imagine why they would schedule that and then put this team on the road 3,000 miles away to go play against the Carolina team that had 10 days off. This is very unfair.
Yeah.
Now, San Francisco looked really good against the Rams, but that's the Rams. And they're coached by Jeff Fisher, who's one of the worst coaches in football and definitely should be on the hot seat, but for some magical reason, he still has a job. But the Rams stink. San Francisco is not going to be that good this year. They don't have that much talent. They have more talent on defense than they do on offense. But they're traveling to a very tough spot here on a short week with travel time against a team with 10 days rest. That is red-hot mad to start the season off 0-1, and sure as heck don't want to start the season off 0-2. Yeah, the number's big. I never lay big favorites, but I'm going to break that rule this week. I am on Carolina.
Wow, great. So 14
points. Let me throw this in here, one little note to what Jimmy just said here, Rob, as well. Not only is Carolina benefiting from Frisco coming in off that Monday Night Football game, it was the second half of the doubleheader of the Monday Night Football game. It was the later venue, if you will. So, the rest even impacts more, I think, against San Francisco and favors Carolina in this game.
Very interesting points, guys. Guys, you are listening right now to Mark Lawrence and Jim Feist. Mark, please tell everybody where to find you and what you got going on.
Real easy, guys. We published the Playbook Weekly Football Newsletter. It's off to a great start this football season here. You can get that downloaded online at playbook.com. All of my selections are available also online at playbook.com. We've got a big weekend on tap this weekend. My college football underdog game of the month. It'll be a shocking result. I see this underdog winning the game in straight-up fashion. You can get that game at playbook.com, or you can package it all together with every college and pro football play that I make this week for just $99 complete. Check it out at playbook.com, or you can call my office toll-free to get on board. The number is 1-800-PLAYBOOK. That's 1-800-752-9266.
All right, Mark. Thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate getting you on.
Hey, it was my pleasure, guys. And best of luck to you this weekend, Jim. Be good.
You too, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Feist, talk to me about what we got going on here with SBTV once again.
Well, first of all, I want to say that I've known Mark for a long time. We've both been in this business 4 decades. And we're the old guys, but we still do pretty well. I read Playbook every week, whether it's in baseball, football, basketball, and Mark does a great job. Hats off to him. As far as what I got going on, SBTV Nation, click on that banner. For $19.95, you can get 3 days. That's 5 big plays. They're up and ready right now. Just click on that banner. For $19.95, you can get these 3 days, and these are red hot, and I've been red hot. Last week in football, I was 10-2-1.
Wow.
That's an incredible week, and I don't expect to do 10-2-1 every week, but believe me, we're going to cash.
All right, fantastic. Well, you know what? Thank you very much for calling us bright and early from Las Vegas, and I'm looking forward to watching your work this weekend as well, Jim.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it.
All right, no problem. Guys, we are going to take a quick break. We will be right back with The Dream. Again, you are listening to your boys at the SBTV Nation.
DigitalMuscle.com. The fitness industry's media hub, home to the most knowledgeable, influential, and inspiring members of the worldwide fitness community. DigitalMuscle.com, the exclusive home of the Arnold Classic webcast, Pro Bodybuilding Worldwide Radio, and the new Digital Muscle blogosphere. Join us at the fitness industry's media hub, DigitalMuscle.com. DigitalMuscle.com.
UnitsVIP.com is the most selective sports handicapping service that you'll ever find. Owned and operated by a career sports investor, UnitsVIP.com is a low-volume, high-end service that sticks to the 4- and 5-star material. If you're patient enough to wait for edges big enough to call investments, then UnitsVIP.com is what you're looking for. If you're ready to take the step from sports gambler to sports investor, then visit UnitsVIP.com today. Follow on Twitter @AnonymousUnits.
Have a product, service, or website to advertise on the biggest show in the world? The SBTV Nation podcast reaches tens of thousands of the best sports fans on the planet in over 194 countries worldwide. Take your business to the next level by advertising with us. Call us now at 872-529-SBTV or email us at sbtvnation@gmail.com.
Looking to win big this football season? Go to smpicks.com, the #1 sports expert in picking winners. Everyone wants that winning edge. At smpicks.com, you'll get 30 years of experience in picking big winners on all sports with our team of experts. At smpicks.com, it's all about being a winner. Owner Scott Matthews just can't see it any other way. Visit right now at smpicks.com and receive your first huge winner on us, absolutely free. That's right, all listeners receive your first huge winner on us, Scott Matthews, a great American. It's absolutely free. That's right, free just by registering at smpicks.com/SBTV.
All right, guys, we are back to the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation. So we are looking at some stuff. I'm waiting for the Dream to get back to me momentarily so we can have a conversation about what is going on tonight, because we already talked about Utah State. Dream, you there?
I am.
All right, sounds good.
I see how you do me. You know what? I'm a rap now, y'all. Keep going. I'm going dolo on my own thing. Had got a couple of legends on. He kicked this boy to the curb.
It's all good, man.
That's how my boy did me.
Yes. All right, so we're talking about tonight's selections because we got a couple minutes left here, and
I do see one of the legends was on what the Dream was talking about on yesterday.
What's that?
Carolina player?
Oh, I know. Killer Cam Newton. Yeah, that might be. And they did bring up some very good points as far as San Francisco. It just basically being unfair considering the fact that they played the second Monday night game and have to play this Sunday and travel to Carolina, where Carolina has 10 days off.
I will remind you guys that they do have a thing called an airplane now. I know those guys probably were capping back when they used to ride stagecoaches.
Yes, sir.
But they do have a thing called an airplane. I you know what? I agree that fatigue does set in and have a little bit of an issue, but I don't think that it's that unfair for professional athletes who get paid that amount of money. I think that I don't necessarily think that that's an explanation. I think that Killer's going to kill them, though. They could have not even played Sunday night and been fresh, and they would still probably catch the beatdown that the Carolina's going to give them.
All right, so looking at the card today, so I'm going to get involved with that Utah State game. I'm going to go with a money line, and I'm going to do a multi-sport parlay.
Okay.
Because, Dream, there is still baseball going on.
Okay.
And I'm surprised to see that Clay Buchholz is a -170 favorite versus the New York Yankees. I'm not getting involved in this game. I just wanted to point something out that, you know, the Boston Red Sox at home are one of the best offensively, but when you got Clay Buchholz on the bump, guys, that's a lot of juice to be laying with this guy, especially with a 4-8 record with a 5.85 ERA. I'm surprised he's still pitching and starting, Dream.
Well, Hat, before you dip away from baseball, let's talk about, can we go over a little bit of who needs to, we have some must-win situations and some people who maybe don't need to win?
Yes, very good point. All right, so that's a really good point, Dream, moving forward when we're gambling here, because when you look at it, I mean, we did go over the division standings. We did do that.
Sure.
Okay? So, you've got just in the American League East, you have Boston, Baltimore, and Toronto all neck and neck for that. So those three teams definitely have something to play for. I'm going to shoot over to one of the games as far as the AL West leader is concerned, the Texas Rangers. Now, they're 8.5 games up. Okay? And the elimination number for Seattle is 8 games moving forward. So the Texas Rangers are trying to basically put the foot on the jugular. Okay? And when I look at what they're doing tonight, they are pitching their best guy, their ace, Mr. Cole Hamels, versus the Oakland A's, a team that you have been fading all year long, Dream.
Yes, sir.
And the Oakland A's are an underdog in this particular matchup. You've got the Texas Rangers are minus 210 with Mr. Hamels on the bump. Oakland has Kendall Graveman. The under-over is 9, and I like the Texas Rangers to get the job done and beat the Oakland A's, and I'm going to mix that with the Utah State play.
Okay, so we got Texas Rangers, guys. It's at 8:05 Eastern Standard Time start. Cole Hamels is on the mound, 14-5 with a 3.24 ERA. Graverman, 10-10, 4.13 ERA. The Oakland Athletics, we talked about them on the road, 31-40 on the road, and the Rangers are 47-22 at home. The Rangers have stung me here and there this season. Yep. It's been an up and down battle with them. I've caught them sometimes with some great wins. They stung me a couple of times, but one thing that has been consistent throughout the season, the Oakland Athletics has been a consistent fade for me.
Okay. Definitely. I know that. That's why I was rattling off that game, and I think that one's right up our alley.
I see your boy Chris Sizzle's on the mound, who hasn't been right ever since his shirt debacle.
Talking about the AL Central, Chicago White Sox versus the Kansas City Royals, Chris Sale versus Ian Kennedy. White Sox minus 125 with an under-over of 7, and there's just – I love Chris Sale. You know that.
I do.
But I just can't bet against the Royals at home. And believe it or not, Dream, the Royals are still around.
Still hanging.
They're still hanging. They're only a couple games out of the wild card. When you pull it up, they are 6 games out of the wild card. So anything could happen. We do have roughly about 16 games left. So, guys, hey, that is a must-win team. Where you got the White Sox basically 9 games out of the wild card. I just don't know if the White Sox are going to be able to catch up. And I think their season is going to be done very soon, probably within the next week to week and a half. But I just cannot bet against the White Sox, against the Royals at home. I just can't do it.
Okay. King Felix is on the mound down in Seattle. I know you've been talking about this Seattle team. We've talked about the woes of the Houston Astros this season. Any thoughts on that particular matchup?
All right. So looking at King Felix versus Colin McHugh, Seattle minus 130 with an under-over of 8. And when you look at the wild card standings, Seattle is only 2 games out. And I think this is a very, very dangerous team. I've been saying it all year, guys, so just be careful as far as betting on the Houston Astros. Houston is 2-6 in the last 8 games. Seattle has won 8 in a row. Fresh, hot. Got Felix Hernandez on the bump here. Versus Houston in his last outing, though, he got absolutely crushed. He only pitched, Dream, a third of an inning and gave up 8 earned runs. Versus the Houston Astros. Yeah, so you know what? Yeah, I know everybody, wants to jump all over King Felix. Well, not so fast.
Right.
Especially with that particular situation. So that is going to be a no play for me because how do you bet against Seattle right now? You just can't.
You can't. What is Houston playing for? Are they still in the race?
Houston is, let's see where the Houston Astros are. They are 4 games out of the wild card, so they're still alive as well.
Okay.
All right, so both teams
playing for something. No need to get involved with that.
Win situation. One spot I do want to talk about. I want to talk about the New York Metropolitans hosting the Minnesota Twins. You got a team that must win versus a team that's eliminated. Minnesota, Jose Berrios versus Bartolo Colon for the New York Mets. Mets minus 200 with an under-over of 8.5. I think the Mets will get it done as well. I just don't know if I'm going to add it to my parlay or not.
7-10 start here for Big Sexy going 15-7, 3.27 ERA. Berrios is going for the Twins 2-6 46 with a 9.27 ERA. The Twins coming in with a putrid 26 for 46 on the road record, and the Mets are 38 for 33 at home. This looks like an attractive spot, Hat.
I know it does. And the Minnesota Twins are 6-19 in the last 25 games, 2-12 in the last 14 on the road, Dream.
Do you think Minnesota's going to want to watch Baylor this evening?
They may be watching the beatdown blotter with Baylor versus Rice tonight.
You think they'll have a little bit of money on the Baylor Bears this evening? I may be getting involved in this New York Mets situation because I like the situation of a must-win versus a team that's kind of out of it. You know, Minnesota's probably not all that feeling each other in the clubhouse and stuff and looking salty at each other. I doubt that they're thinking, let's end the season with a bang so we can get ready for next year.
Right, exactly. So we're looking at that, and I think I might be with you with the New York Metropolitans. It would have been nice to go to this game, Dream.
Please let that go.
Just saying.
Okay, would you like to go? I'll pick you up at 7 then. If you really want to go that bad, I'll pick you up and we can go watch the Mets instead of watching college football this evening. Do you want to go, player?
I might want to.
All right, I'll get in touch with you. Let me know for sure by 1 o'clock, and I'll get the tickets and we'll go.
You know what? I kind of need a break from my bride, to be honest.
Well, I'm all in. I got you.
All right, so we can have that conversation. And you know what? I may end up putting if we're going to watch the game, I may put my money on it after all. So that's going to do it for the show, Dream. Great program today, man.
Definitely a good program today. I was able to listen in on the Legends while you cut me off because you want to talk to them and not hear what I had to say.
Yes.
But they were right on point. I like the stuff that they gave out. We want to send the best of thanks to them. Guys, if you're interested, definitely check them out. Them guys been around for a long time. Very profitable, know what they're doing. So it behooves you to get down with them.
Sure, definitely. And Feist went crazy last week. I think he only lost 2 games, he said.
Yes, he did. I want to thank everybody that's retweeted the show. We got Key MVU. I want to send a special thanks out to Mr. Charlie over at Direct Sports Solution. I was able to get on the radio with them last night and kick it out in Texas. We had a very successful debut, I believe. I think I kind of gave a little bit of energy to this show as I came in crazy. I was all amped up for the games that are already on, but Houston is just about to start, and then the Jet-Bills game was going to go down, so I was already in at the zone as if I never am. But I came on and had a very good time with him, and I'll be on that spot every Thursday. We'll get some more information out to you, gang, how you can tune in if you want to tune in. I don't have all the specifics down pat yet, so I won't give them out until I know 100% sure, but every Thursday, I myself or us in tandem will appear on Houston, Texas radio with Direct Sports Solutions. We also have Terrence Mack out there, Sin City Maverick, Nick Orestes, Joseph Del Rosario, Holiday, Christos Rigetti, Caveman, the incredible Marley Marr, the sports guys out there, Jeff Ryan, my girl, Vegas Girl 92661 of SBTV. We got JDH24 in the house, C Rodriguez Jr., my man Swervin' Irvin. What's going on, Irv? Blue Chips, Andy Jones, Marco, JC, OJFB, Rick Lopez, INT. Gang, we are back tomorrow. It's me and the Hat tomorrow. We got a very nice lineup, college football games, some really marquee games going down. And y'all know what we're talking about. We're not going to spill out too much, but it's coming down tomorrow. We are also, Hat, we're doing call-ins tomorrow as well?
Yes, sir.
We're doing call-ins, so if you got any questions, you want to talk to your boy, holla at me, holler at Hat. Feel free to give us a call. Hat, you want to throw him the number real quick?
We could do that tomorrow. I don't have it in front of me.
Okay, we'll give you the number tomorrow. Sorry about that, gang. Put my boy on the spot there. But you guys can call us tomorrow.
Good looking.
We'll be ready for some call-ins. Don't forget, we're coming on at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Always remember who you're with. I'm the Dream. Make the most of each and every day because you cannot get this time back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dream, we got a bunch of things in the works for the nation. Very excited about it and was very happy to have Mr. Mark Lawrence on. Great information with him and Jim Feist. It's just amazing to partner up with a person that is a legend in the business like that, and he is on our website right now. Click on his banner, and he can make it happen for you this weekend. We love you to death. Go out there, go easy, rise and grind, make all your dreams a damn reality, and get that money. Let's go!